Early in the morning, the boy greets the girl, side by side on the toilet. Turns out their neighbor's internet is down. The whole family crams into the narrow bathroom just to find the network. With the internet, they can find out the latest from the pizza place because it affects whether they can sell the stacked cardboard boxes smoothly. At night, a homeless man urinates near their home. The family is angry but dare not speak up. Then a man speaks up and drives the homeless man away. Turns out he's a friend looking for his brother. The friend proposes that his brother take over as a tutor because he's going abroad to study. The brother doubts his ability, but the friend encourages him, saying his experience of failing exams 4 times is better than that of a college student who only knows how to drink. Next, the friend reveals he has a crush on the employer's child, so he's asking his brother for help. This request changes the fate of the family. The next day, the brother forges a university ID and goes to the employer's house. The lady of the house isn't interested in his credentials. Instead, she suggests observing the first lesson. Luckily, the brother successfully gets the job. The lady of the house warmly sends him off and complains that her son likes drawing but can't find a suitable teacher. The sister goes to work at the employer's house. She and the lady of the house go to the boys' room. Then she asks the lady of the house to leave. Shortly after, the lady of the house, who was waiting outside, comes to the room with the servant under the pretext of bringing drinks, but she sees that the tutoring session has ended. Then the sister suggests that the boy has psychological issues. The lady of the house tearfully asks her to treat him. After class, the master asks the driver to help send the sister. On the way, the sister takes the opportunity to drop her underwear under the seat when the driver isn't paying attention. The master soon discovers the presence of the underwear. After discussing with his wife, he fires the driver. The sister pretends to be surprised at the driver's dismissal and recommends her father to the employer. In the following days, the family works together and lives very comfortably. One day, the brother learns from the girl that the servant is allergic to peach fuzz, so the father follows the servant to the hospital, secretly takes a photo of the servant. The sister takes the opportunity to throw peach fuzz on the servant. When the lady of the house returns and sees the servant coughing violently, so she finds a reason to dismiss the servant, and the mother successfully takes over the servant's job. The employer's family goes camping. The servant's family lounges in bed, using the bathtub, indulging in the life of the rich. At night, the servant's family sits in the living room discussing their current life. They start choosing rooms, imagining a better future. Suddenly it starts raining outside. The doorbell keeps ringing. The family is surprised and goes to check. Turns out it's the former servant. She stands outside wearing a raincoat, saying there's something in the basement. The kind-hearted family opens the door and lets her in. The former servant goes to the basement, struggles to move the mechanism. Soon, with the help of the mother, a hidden door appears before them. The servant explains there's a room below the house built to escape the war. To avoid debt, her husband secretly moved here to live. It's been 4 years now. The mother is shocked and wants to call the police. The servant kneels down and begs bitterly. The other 3 eavesdroppers nearby are shocked. The situation is reversed. The servant takes photos of the family and threatens them. Then the servant and her husband come to the living room to enjoy life, while the brother's family can only kneel beside them. The former servant and her husband lay comfortably on the sofa. They hold their phones up. The husband mocks the appearance of the employer's family. At this moment, the former servant sits up, jokingly mocks the employer's family. The employer's family seizes the opportunity to rush forward and snatch the phones. The scene descends into chaos, but then the phone rings abruptly. The mother answers the call. Turns out the employer's family's camping trip failed due to heavy rain. Now the employer is about to return. After hanging up the phone, the family starts to act. The mother prepares noodles with gravy. The sister packs up, while the father and the employer move the servant couple to the secret room in the basement. When the employer's family returns, they don't notice anything unusual. During rest time, the naughty little son stays in the yard camping. The employer is worried about him and chooses to sleep on the sofa as well. Not far away, the sister and 2 others hide under the table. At night, while the employer couple is asleep, they secretly sneak out. Suddenly, the voice of the little son rings out. The employer wakes up. Fortunately, due to the darkness, the employer didn't notice the brother lying on the ground, and so the 3 quietly slip away from the garage. The 3 return home in the rain, only to find their house flooded with rainwater. They rush into the house to salvage what they can. The brother tries to close the windows, while the despondent sister sits on the gushing toilet, taking out the soaked cigarette, and smokes it helplessly. One day, the brother and sister receive an invitation from the employer's family. They will host a birthday party at home. At the party, the brother sneaks into the basement with a stone to investigate. Former servant's husband takes the opportunity to attack him. Brother falls into a pool of blood, while the former servant comes out with a knife and attacks the sister who is holding a cake. The scene descends into chaos. Employer asks his father for the car keys, but seeing his father covering his nose, the father suddenly picks up a knife and attacks the employer. Then the father flees the scene. In the end, the brother is rescued, while the sister passes away. On a snowy day, the brother takes a telescope to observe the house where they used to live, but accidentally sees the father's coded signal through the flickering light. It turns out the father returns secretly after fleeing. He's been living in the secret room underground. The brother secretly vows to buy the house and let the father come out of the basement.